All right, well, countless stories in Acadiana are hidden, untold, perhaps they're lost forever. This morning, Spirit of Acadiana features a life story author from Youngsville who endeavors to make sure every person's story is never forgotten. You know, we've all got those family stories where somebody says, somebody ought to write that down. Well, that's where the good folks at Raconteur Story Writing Services comes into play. There's an African proverb that says, every time a man dies, a library burns. That line, heard on a promotional video for Raconteur Storytelling, essentially means when people pass away, a lifetime of invaluable stories and history are often irretrievably lost.
So I grew up so close to my grandmothers, and I wanted to know their stories. Right. I wrote their stories. I produced books with our family photos. I saw what these biographies meant to my parents, my aunts and uncles, me. And
so Olivia Savoy decided she wanted to tell life stories for other families in Acadiana and do so as a regular business venture. It starts with a series of interviews, a basic set of questions, but then the storytelling often goes down an interesting, winding rabbit hole of sorts.
Yes, so I will ask pointed questions, and sometimes there will be a light bulb moment, and someone who's 95 will say, I haven't thought about that in years, but now that you asked.
Raconteur, by the way, is French for a person who excels in telling stories. And that's what Olivia, her husband Josh, and a team of writers have done for about 4.5 years, chronicling life stories, sometimes of people who are very near the end of their own lives.
His father worked in the Philippines during World War II as a chemist, and him and his family were interned in the Philippines in a camp for years. So he had so many memories to share.
And if that story hadn't been told, it was gone.
Yes, if he wouldn't have told his story, it would have been gone.
Every person's story you see is unique and differs in length and number of pictures used. And what I really love is that each book is written in the first person.
A daughter called and said, how did you do this? This sounds like Dad's talking to me. And that was special, and that meant a lot.
In Youngsville, Scott Brasnick, KATC TV3.